The 2021 middle school recipient of the Friends of Quaker Valley Award is someone who does not enjoy the limelight. She does not want to be the center of attention, nor does she desire accolades for all that she does. She prefers to fly under the radar as she does her job with incredible precision, care, and compassion. But in a year that we have focused so heavily on the health and safety of every American, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize one of our own healthcare workers. So, Nurse Barbara Toot, congratulations. You are this year's middle school recipient of the Friends of Quaker Valley Award. For nearly 30 years, Barb has served the children and families of the Quaker Valley School District, 28 of those years as a full-time nurse and 2 years as a part-time nurse. She has served Edgeworth, Osborne, and the middle school during that time. Now, if you know anything about Quaker Valley Middle School, you know that our Washington, D.C. field trip is the stuff of legends. Nurse Toot has been an integral part of that field trip for years and has cared for thousands and thousands of students while in Washington, D.C., Busch Gardens, Laurel Caverns, Gettysburg, and Mount Vernon. But taking care of kids is what Barb does best. Her care and compassion for every student is remarkable, whether they have a scraped knee or the most serious of medical needs. I've seen Barb act with amazing composure during some quite serious and scary medical situations, from seizures to the loss of consciousness and broken bones to dangerously low blood sugar levels. She is the consummate professional who takes charge, knows what to do, and ensures the safety of those around her. Now, undoubtedly, her time as a critical care nurse in the ICU helped prepare her for her role as a middle school nurse, a role that she was meant to fill. This year, Barb's role has shifted due to the pandemic. She has spent countless hours completing COVID contact tracing protocols, speaking with parents and guardians about best practices and CDC guidelines, and reassuring students who are afraid of COVID for a variety of reasons. She took on this task with grace and humility. Thankfully, she has an exceptional sense of humor because there were days this year that we only got through it because of our laughter. Barb, I know that you are going to give me grief for giving you this award, but there is truly no one more deserving, especially this year. You are an incredible nurse and an even better friend, and I cannot imagine QVMS without you. I think this poem about school nurses perfectly sums up how everyone at the middle school feels about Nurse Toot. Putting on Band-Aids, stopping a bloody nose, holding on ice packs, and giving out a change of clothes, tirelessly healing all day long just to make sure that nothing goes wrong. Our children are safer because of you. Thank you, Nurse Toot, for all that you do. Congratulations, Barb.
Hi, my name is Carla Escribano, and I'm the Director of Food and Nutrition Services at Quaker Valley School District. On behalf of everyone in Quaker Valley Food Service Department, congratulations to Ms. Shannon Homan as the 2020-21 recipient of Quaker Valley Distinguished Staff Award. Shannon is described as a hardworking, organized, competent, supportive, loyal, and compassionate fellow. Her dedication to accommodate the students' needs is admirable. She has been described as her coworkers as a very detailed, innovative person, and she always is trying to bring ideas and new recipes to the food service department. Students love her new innovative recipes so much that parents keep contacting Shannon to ask her for her recipes. I have heard from a parent say, "Please give me your recipe because I keep trying to make your pasta and my daughter keeps saying it's not the same." Even picky eaters love Shannon's new recipes. I'm safe to say that Shannon is not only a staff member of the food service department, but she has been described as a good friend to talk to. Shannon's old office has been known as the Shannon's Zen. If you are stressed after work, stop by Shannon's office for 10 minutes. Relaxation time with coffee, music, food massage machine, and a good ear to talk to. Shannon's perseverance and dedication to give the extra mile for the students in need is hard to overlook. Congratulations, Shannon, and well-deserved award.
I'd like to congratulate Donnie Bisong on being awarded the Distinguished Staff Award. Whenever asked, Donnie always goes above and beyond, whether it's administration, athletics, or teachers asking him to do something. He goes over and beyond what we ask. So congratulations, Donnie.
Hello, Quaker Valley. My name is Aaron Ray, and I am the principal of Osborne Elementary School. I would like to begin by thanking all students and their families, community members, business partners, the school board, district administrators, and the entire staff across the Quaker Valley School District for supporting one another during the 2020-2021 school year. It takes a special kind of individual to be the one to volunteer to send the social dues collection email for the social committee each year, and the follow-up reminder, and then the follow-up to the follow-up. While the social committee doesn't necessarily possess any team members who inspire fear in our colleagues to help collect, thankfully they do have one of the kindest, happiest, most outgoing individuals in our building. Mrs. Christy Dorenzo is the 2021 Osborne Elementary recipient of the Friends of Quaker Valley Distinguished Staff Award. According to one colleague, Christy Dorenzo is the epitome of what an elementary school teacher should be. She's dedicated, enthusiastic, creative, hardworking, and organized. She's an excellent teacher and a natural leader. But above all that, she is kind, respectful, and caring toward everyone she meets, both children and adults alike. Christy is truly a shining star. According to another colleague, Christy Dorenzo is one of the most engaging and genuine teachers I know. She greets everyone with a warm smile and makes them feel welcome and important. She exudes positivity. She is organized, well prepared, and will stop at nothing to make sure her students are happy, engaged, and learning every day. Any student is lucky to have had her as a teacher. Any person is fortunate to have Christy as a friend and a colleague. But back to that part about being well prepared and will stop at nothing to make sure her students are happy, engaged, and learning every day. Making pizza in Mrs. Dorenzo's classroom has become a bit of a tradition. Now in its 10th year, Mrs. Dorenzo uses the pizza making lesson to teach about procedural writing and many mathematical concepts that come with following a recipe. The students make lists, write recipes, talk about the process, and then make pizza from scratch. Due to the challenges associated with being fully remote prior to the winter break, the procedural writing activity was in jeopardy of not taking place. This year, thanks to some creativity and a lot of help from Bridgeside Market in Sewickley, students and their families took part in this fun classroom tradition. Mrs. Dorenzo said she wanted to keep things extra safe because of COVID-19, so instead of making pizza dough for everyone, she called Bridgeside Market to ask if they would sell the pizza dough. Not only were they willing to sell the dough when they found out about the project, but they also made each student an individual pizza making kit. The box included everything needed to make pizza: dough, sauce, cheese, and pepperoni for those who wanted it. Families got their kits, and Mrs. Dorenzo led the class in a virtual pizza making lesson over Zoom. As a result, and I'm paraphrasing her comments, my heart is very full right now because I know that the kids got so much from this, and I'm honestly so happy it all came together in this crazy year. I'm so thankful that we were able to, and the kids will have this great memory from their second grade year. Mrs. Dorenzo's thoughtfulness and generosity extends outside of Osborne Elementary. Just before Thanksgiving, with the help of the Osborne Home and School Association, she coordinated a donation of vegetables from our indoor tower gardens to the community food bank. Christy is an extremely involved member of the Osborne staff. Not only is she a member of the social committee and the school-wide positive behavior and intervention support teams, but this year she also flourished in leadership roles as the curriculum leader for the second grade team and as a member of the ELA Curriculum Review Committee at the elementary level. In addition to Christy's level of involvement as a teacher, we are also very fortunate that she is also an Osborne parent. She and her husband Joe have a rising first grader, Audrina, an incoming kindergartner, Ariana, and a future Quaker named Luca. On behalf of the staff at Osborne Elementary and the Quaker Valley School District, I am honored to recognize Mrs. Christy Dorenzo as our recipient of the 2021 Friends of Quaker Valley Distinguished Staff Award.
Hello, I'm Deborah Riccavelli, the high school principal. On behalf of everyone at Quaker Valley High School, congratulations to Mrs. Jem Bebout as the 2021 QVHS recipient of the Friends of Quaker Valley Distinguished Staff Award. I recently had a conversation with a QV graduate who spoke about how much Mrs. Bebout meant to her and her experience at Quaker Valley High School. She expressed how Mrs. Bebout is passionate about math, but even more dedicated to getting to know each student as an individual and meeting their needs, academic and otherwise. The former student told me, "Mrs. Bebout always makes you feel important. She really cares." All around, Mrs. Bebout is one of the most positive and upbeat teachers I know. She continually provides a calm and motivational presence for colleagues and students alike. At the beginning of this very challenging year, Mrs. Bebout sent out a school-wide email with this Yoda meme reminding everyone, "We've got this." Along with her colleagues in the math department, Mrs. Bebout is always one of the first to join in activities to boost school spirit. She is committed to ensuring we create a positive learning environment where students know that we care and are there to support them no matter the circumstances. Mrs. Bebout truly shines in the classroom. Her students describe her as passionate, kind, joyful, engaging, motivating, and inclusive. She is always looking for ways to help them connect with math and with one another. She recognizes the importance of fostering deep understanding and helping her students to be successful in and out of the classroom. Mrs. Bebout has impacted the lives of many students. Another former graduate shared that for him, Mrs. Bebout was a hero teacher, the perfect balance of high expectations coupled with compassion. In addition to her teaching responsibilities, Mrs. Bebout is the senior class sponsor, coordinating activities for the seniors as they prepare for the next step of their life's journey. She helps to ensure that graduation is always a special event. Mrs. Bebout also chairs the Quaker Valley Education Association committee that awards scholarships to our seniors. One of my favorite quotes by Maya Angelou encapsulates perfectly what so many students share about their experience with Mrs. Bebout, the importance of how she makes them feel, something that lasts a lifetime. Congratulations to Jen Bebout. She truly is a hero to everyone, and I'm so proud that she is part of the Quaker Valley High School family.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend Friday.
Hello, Quaker Valley, and thanks for tuning in to this breaking news broadcast, live from the Edgeworth Media Studio. We've received word that one of our very own Edgeworth News Crew members is being recognized by the Friends of Quaker Valley as a distinguished teacher for the 2020-2021 school year. We're pleased to be the first network breaking this fantastic news. I am opening the envelope right now. And the winner of the Friends of Quaker Valley Edgeworth Distinguished Teacher of the Year is Mr. Eric Kaloje. Kaloje has been a music teacher at Edgeworth for 13 years. He's an active member of the faculty and a favorite teacher among students. Students describe Mr. Kaloje as funny, musical, and helpful. Colleagues admire Eric's helpful nature, his willingness to brainstorm solutions to challenging issues, and his unwavering positivity. Eric is known for his innovative ideas and his excitement about teaching and learning. Kaloje is a music education advocate involved nationally in ORF music instructional approaches. He's recognized across the state due to his work with the Pennsylvania Music Association, and he's been a longtime member of the Edgeworth Elementary School Events Committee. He co-chairs events such as Idea Night, Veterans Day recognitions, open house, holiday sing-alongs, and PTA appreciation activities. Eric may be most known around QV for the legendary musicals he's directed for the 5th grade students at Edgeworth Elementary. From Annie to Maleficent to The Music Man, Eric's directed them all. Last week, I had a chance to sit with Lisa Johnston, one of Eric's co-directors in the musical, to hear some of her favorite memories of their time together. Let's take a look.
Lisa, you've worked pretty closely with Eric on the school musical productions. Tell us some of your favorite memories of directing those shows together.
Oh, when I think about Drama Club and the time Mr. K and I spent working on productions, so many fond memories come to mind.
I bet.
Yeah, designing the town of Hamlin with Sharpies and rulers, using ladders and the cherry picker to change out the color gels to get just the right hues for scene changes, programming the light and soundboards on Saturdays, hours of costume creation and foraging at thrift stores to have our characters looking fabulous, and cruising the gym on a motorized scooter prop when we realized that 12 hours of work was enough for that day. Cinderella's glorious carriage, and finally, the glances and smiles we would pass to each other at the end of each year's final performance, knowing that all the work we had done had paid off with the students' spectacular performances. I'm so thankful for such wonderful memories and the time spent with my dear friend.
That's wonderful.
Thanks, Lisa. I also had the opportunity to talk to Jessica Jackson, the school counselor at Edgeworth, about Eric's impact on his students, colleagues, and the Edgeworth community. Let's listen to part of that interview now.
Jess, you and Eric have been colleagues for a long time. Could you share a couple of examples of how Eric makes Edgeworth a special place for children to grow and learn?
Absolutely. So, as you know, Mr. Kaloje and I do bus duty together a lot at the end of the day. And one of my favorite things about him is how he calls the buses like he was a flight attendant. So he will say, "Ladies and gentlemen, now coming up is bus 13. Bus 13, please come through." And it's hilarious. He sounds like he's ready to be a Southwest flight attendant. So that's a lot of fun. And he always greets the kids as they come out to the bus. It's just a really nice way to kind of leave the end of the day. And I would say also another thing is that we have a group called WTLC here at our school. And it's our wholehearted teacher leadership community. And one of the things that we do is we get together and we talk about how to take care of kids. And we also talk about how to take care of ourselves. And Eric has been a really great member of that community.
Sure has.
When we get together and we meet, he's always got great things to kind of add to the discussion, thoughts that he had about articles that we read. And then I find that even at night, I'll get little tidbit texts from him.
The late night Kaloje text.
The late night Kaloje text when he's sitting and watching the Hallmark movies. And he'll text me and say, "Hey, I was thinking about this and so, and what are your thoughts about that?" So I really appreciate how that conversation about how to take care of kids extends out of just our regular school day.
That's awesome.
He's a special guy. He fills the halls of our school not only with music, but also with love and joy. And now he's got that ukulele, so the music is something for sure.
He sure is a special part of Edgeworth.
He really is. I love Mr. K.
Thanks, Jess. To watch more of my interviews with either Lisa or Jess, tune in to our evening news broadcast at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or if you're a Quaker Valley teacher, it will be hidden in a Teams or Schoology folder for your enjoyment. This wraps up our special news broadcast. Wishing all of the best to Mr. Eric Kaloje. May you continue to make beautiful music with your students. We'll leave you with a clip of one of Mr. Kaloje's favorite songs. May peace be with you, my friend.
Join with me on this song. Wakati wa amani, may peace be with you, my friend. Amani, iwe kwenu, until we meet again. Wakati amani, until we meet again.